Okay guys, I've got my my 1 1/8" nut off the back side of my radius arm there. Okay, one thing I wanted to point out about these nuts is you see the shape, it's flat on the back side, kind of tapered up top here. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's little dimples in the corners. Okay, you can see those a little bit there. And that's a self-locking nut. So you'll have to wrench this nut all the way off. It's not going to break loose and then spin it off with your fingers. You're going to have to wrench it all the way, because those dimpling on there makes this nut self-locking. Okay, same thing when you put it on. You're going to have to wrench it all the way on. And it's going to be tight, but it won't work itself loose because it's self-locking. Same thing with the nut for the top of the shock. Your new one may or may not come with a washer. This is the old one, and you had to wrench it all the way off. It's about a 2-inch or more travel on there. Get it all the way off. It's up here on the top of this shock, up in here. Okay, comes off. And this here's the nut. Same thing, you got to wrench it all the way off. And the bolt for the lower part of the shock down there. That's 15 and 18 millimeter wrenches will get the top and the bottom off. Okay. So now this radius arm needs to come forward because there's a stud back here with that big nut on it. That's got to come forward so you can get the inside part of your radius arm bushings off. Now here's the back side that goes up behind here on that stud where the big nut is. And you can probably see that's damaged. So we're going to replace it. Now somebody's replaced one side before because this is a little different setup than I took off the other side. But when I do a project like this, I don't do just one side. I do them both. Okay? And now in order to move this forward, this radius arm and this axle forward, you need to take this shock absorber and pull it down. Okay? And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it with one hand. If I put a wrench on it. Well, anyway, you got to pull that down, and well, I guess I could scoot it out the bottom. You don't have to take the bottom out, but I'm replacing the shock, so irregardless, that shock has got to come loose so this thing can push forward. Then you can replace your bushings back here. All right. Yeah, so I'll replace that shock and those bushings, get everything back.